to the stream. I'm just gonna be making sure stream chat is dialed. Okay, stream looks good. Title is good. Okay. So as usual, I've got the chat up in the left side here. Left for me. This stream of Redacted is going to be about a half an hour today. And I plan on loading up some Subnautica and playing for about an hour or so after that. Just because I know not all of my audience is into games that involve, or games at all. My mother might want to tune in at some point, and I don't think Redacted is really her cup of tea, nor will the Callisto Protocol be when I do stream that one of these days when I feel like it. I'll get started on that because it is a game that I have near and dear to my heart. So obviously I'm NDA'd up like bananas over here. I can only say so much on these channels. But anyway. So, how has everybody been? By the way, today for the Redacted stream, I've dropped the levels in-game quite a bit in terms of audio. So the sound effects is dropped considerably. I did spend a good about an hour before the broadcast working on getting the audio dialed in. So hopefully those who are not such a fan of all the shooting in the ear and everything, that's pretty much gone, especially if we drop the volume while you're listening to it some more. For those who want to hear the game audio, you can turn up the audio some. I've checked up to 100 on my computer in terms of listening in my headphones, and it's not too loud for the game audio or for my microphone. So did some extensive checks, and then if we drop that down to about 50 or so in the headphones, the game audio in terms of sound effects should be minimal. There will still be some music and the dialogue between the characters, but I've got that at a lower volume too. So overall, just continuing to attempt to get these streams dialed in, and appreciate my time with you and to those who have been watching. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I look forward to listening to this myself later on and seeing if everything is on par with where I want it to be. So, another new feature of the stream today, I discovered a website called time.is while searching forums recently, and found a way to overlay that using Steam. And then outside of Steam, I'm able to display it. It should be on the standby screen here as we prepare for the stream to start fully. The stream is started. I'll get into game here in just a moment. But that gives us a great tool of reference for what's going on. And personally, me, having been an avid meditator for the last 8 years, I really like the idea of being aware of where my physical body is. And so being able to provide video that was broadcast live and have that with local, atomic time, even if it is slightly off, it shouldn't be off by much. I think it said like 0.7 seconds behind for some reason. But it's more dialed than not having the clock there. And I know in the video game and cinema industries, being able to pair motion with time is a very, very important concept in terms of being able to animate frames properly. So this is my physical suit. I am talking, and we've got So remember that there are versions of me, and I'm saying this to myself to stay calm as well. I'm listening to these streams further down the line. That is my intent. You know, God willing, I'm in a position to be able to access these streams later, see when they were actually uploaded on YouTube, see how long they are, see what my interaction number was, kind of like a speedometer, or a little VIP ticket. You know, I like to know when certain versions of me have interacted with certain versions of me. I didn't used to keep track of this sort of thing, but being the kind of time wizard that I've become, or remembered, I feel like I've learned some new tricks. Anyway, suffice it to say that I feel it's very important to be able to have the motion of what we intend to have happen paired correctly with our physical avatar with as minimal latency as possible. In other words, lag time between what I'm thinking about, what I'm asking my physical body to do, and it actually performing that action, and then how many other streams of consciousness are interacting with it. So if I attempt to send the W key, an input from the W key on the keyboard, how long does it take for it to get into the game, and actually for the avatar to acknowledge that and move, right? So generally speaking, in video games, the avatar isn't there consciously deciding whether or not to listen to the input from the physical player or user. But I do foresee that in the future, there's going to be an interesting challenge involving our digital selves who are being listened to later down the road, being aware enough that they're being listened to, and saying, hey, you know, here's actually what my vessel in that time period is wanting to express. In addition, consolidated, integrated with what I want to express in this moment. So it's kind of like too many musical chairs and nobody gets the microphone at all, or just gets a whole bunch of rambling nonsense or seeming nonsense. Can appear very code oriented. But there is order in all realms of some sort, and this is one of the ways that I attempt to share that I'm one of the nice beings down here. There are beings down here on Earth who have not been so nice, and I prefer to just avoid those ones if at all possible. By being able to point to where my avatar is, I'm basically synchronizing my keybinds upstairs, the subconscious versions of me, my higher selves, whatever the vernacular term is that we want to use to explain phenomena in the physical, translating our input into an output that we find acceptable is truly the core of all art and or creation. We spend 13, 14 hours with pen and paper drawing and attempting to get the ink to do what I want it to do. But, you know, the ink has it's important to comprehend the limitations and the pros and cons of using any particular tool over another. So this is as dialed as I can get it right now. Let's get in. Let's start the stream. So I guess one last preface. As I said, not all of my audience is kind of into video games in general, and or they played them in a different era of their consciousness, and they may have a hard time listening to too much gunfire and things like that. It might get them riled. So my point in doing these streams isn't to get you all riled, but to hang out with you as a family and spend some time playing a game that I've, you know, been aware of. And again, you know, I work in the video game industry. I test games. I can't always talk about what game I'm working on, but a lot of the things I explain are pretty much universal in the game industry. So if I say that, you know, there's a bug, like no no video game maker out there is going to be like, oh, what's a bug? You know, like there's a certain shared vernacular or lingo among those who do create things, and it's no different than any other artistic community. So let's say that I spend a lot of time testing a particular video game. Well, part of my consciousness is paired with that creation. How much of my conscious will and intent is actually going into that beyond just the bug reports that I'm filing? You know, am I the undercover boss, or am I just at the beck and whim riding, you know, getting a bunch of adrenaline milked out of me? You know, what is the experience of making the game? How is it received after it has been made? What kind of support do I see the developer team doing for the game after they create it? And I can say that, like, I have a high degree of respect for those who not only create something cool in the first place, but continue to actually spend some time iterating it and supporting it, iterating on it and supporting it actively post-launch. I think that if the game industry were to approach, and I'll get on my soapbox here for a moment, but if the game industry were to allocate budgets in a fashion where midpoint of the game development cycle is actually going live with it to the public, not an early access, going live as if it's a real launch, and the remaining half of the development cycle is make it the best we possibly can after doing that launch. Like, make it a great game on launch. So whatever we need to do to budget that accordingly, I think that we would have a very different standard and experience when it comes to video games. We wouldn't find so many video games where it's like, controller not supported, or you know, it's getting irritating these days to plug in my DualSense controller, my PS5 controller here, and have games on Steam that are like, oh, well, we support Xbox controller. Sorry to go all voice, you know, make fun of, but like, I don't know what's going on in the industry, but supporting one, you know, platform over another in terms of sorry, that's misaligned. It's because I changed the time. Okay, so let's actually play some Redacted. I can talk about this stuff while we're playing. I already have the game up. Thing is, I can't see my camera on this stream. By the way, the stream quality should be better this time because I actually have the laptop plugged in. Did not have it plugged in for last week's stream.
Make it this far.
All right. So, speaking of PS5 controller support, hang on a second. Redacted should have controller support for the DualSense now. There we go. Yeah. It was like giving me Xbox glyphs, and I'm like, dude, no, I know that this game patched recently with support for PS5, and thank you very much to the dev team for taking care of that. That's awesome. I wish more game developers would follow suit and support the PS5 controller, because it's so annoying to try to click stuff in a game and have the controls not match it. be changing up my abilities this time. I've been doing some tests outside of this sandbox environment. And yeah, so there's been some skills that I've been avoiding because I didn't like what they were named. But, you know, those skills are kind of part of the meta for speedrunning the game, I think, from what I've seen. And I'd like to, you know, make it as far as I could, especially considering I have a limited time window in which to actually play. So, again, please give me some feedback in the comments on YouTube, not on Twitch. I mean, Twitch, if you're here, you can message in the chat. I will see it. I've got it up on the left side. But YouTube comments, or if you know me well enough to know what my email is, you can send me an email or text if you are a friend who has my phone number or family. Just let me know how the audio sounds, if it's, you know, good enough. I'm not hearing much from the sound effects, but that's actually really nice because I can just focus on talking and hanging out with you guys.
I bet you'd have some wild stories to tell.
Because the idea behind this is that not just this game, but any game I play, the focus is not about the game. It's not. Let's be real. What I want my focus to be is just hanging out with my family. And I am here on Earth. I have been going through stuff, same as everybody else. There have been quite a lot of interesting experiences available. Let's just say that. And, you know, as we're on that journey to wholeness together.
Let's see what my file says about me. Interesting. They know about the primates.
I don't remember which one that was on. It was part of the Beyond Lemuria cards. 30 or 33, I think, by Izzy. I want to get some of those cards, but anyway, my wife doesn't do cards these days, but I still like them. Let's do the shooting one. I listened to it recently.
Let's see what we can find out about these other survivors.
I think it was the day I watched Tiwanaku or Pumapunko as well. On Redacted, first full dossier.
I don't know, maybe memory loss is the key. If he needs to remember the passcode, he'd have to write it down. Or the tattoo.
You want my passcode. Take it.
Sorry, I'm also not feeling my best today. I've had kind of a sore throat for the last day or so. And so, yeah. Meditation does help. And I admittedly took some ibuprofen not long before the stream started here. Because, you know, it may not be popular among some in the so-called spiritual circles, but there's nothing wrong with taking some medicine occasionally when you need it. Like, your body is working very well, maybe not yours, but probably. My body works very hard to stay in this physical realm, to like, I've seen a lot, and to still be a well-integrated individual, take care of my family, take care of my friends. Sometimes I need a little help. So I know that if I'm feeling a lot of pain and I can't get rid of the pain without some kind of medicine, then I'm not going to be in a good mood. I'm not going to be helpful to anybody. Yeah, I can like do a workout, but when one is already feeling sick, sometimes that is, you know, could be considered overtraining, and overtraining is a very big issue. Could also be considered cooking the suit. That's why it gets sick. Doing too many activations. So anyway, I've toned down the keeping track of things on the internet thing. I generally only do it about once a week at this point, maybe 2 or 3 times over a weekend. So if you're waiting for me to watch some of your content on an upper dimensional level, just know that it's not that I'm lazy, it's not that I can't, push a button. It's that I have a set amount of time each week that I can allocate to doing such things, and it takes a toll on my physical suit. Be like the equivalent of,
Just because you
I
can
don't know.
sell food doesn't put you on the same level as me.
I don't know. I haven't built anything with Orgonite yet, but I've heard about the challenges associated with it and how much work it takes to actually get the finished product to look good. And I can relate. I've been an artist before, I've been an artisan before. I've worked with a lathe, so I know what it's like to turn wood and attempt to get that in a good shape, and I've done my share of sanding. Helped one of my old shamans to sand her whole kitchen for a remodel. And anyway, it took me 2 or 3 days to do it. I was showing up every day and taking down the cabinetry and sanding it all. I really like to do things like that. I like to build with my hands. So if I don't have that really available, then I'll build something with my mind. That being said, I may be changing how I do my notes this next year. I've done it for 8 years now of making notes every single day. And I didn't used to be very good about doing it every day, but for the last 3 years, I haven't missed a day. Not one day has been missed without me entering my notes. And it's a significant investment of time and energy. So it's just going to be a different animal moving forward after this year. I like to not change things hastily, but I want to be able to spend more time with my family. I don't want to be sharpening my blades every single night. So probably in the future I'll just have notes for the days when I go live.
My guess, she was also conceived in the back of that diner.
I didn't even read the dossier. I'm sorry.
No hard feelings, but I need my escape pod.
But yeah, it's spending a half an hour to 2 hours of every single night for the last 3 years. I had a year off, but I still made some notes.
Is it my turn to boil?
I've invested a lot of time and energy in figuring out, and each one of those notes has multiple timestamps throughout the day when I was making them. So it's I know what my phone was showing me at the time I entered that note because I took note of it. Some cases I have screenshots, some cases I just hand wrote things down in my encryption. It's I have a very good idea of what is being digitally shown and or energetically shown to me, whether my third eye is so quote-unquote functional or not. I'm able to make some very solid inferences differences thanks to how I've connected my physical and non-physical experiences. I don't say these things to sound like, I'm a big deal or anything. Yeah, I think it's important to be humble in all that we do. We're um, we're getting close to the end of the stream here. Got him with 9 health.
Excel in pest management.
Didn't take a single hit.
Well done.
That was tough, but yeah. She's so far ahead. Even if I make it through all these things, I think she's too
This
close to the
is
escape
no
pod.
ordinary guard. I think I might be
Some electronics to
rooting for them.
buy more of those environmental control attacks. I was planning on going to 16:05 my time for the stream because I got started late and then I talked lunch, but my goal is to keep the streams at least a half an hour long at minimum. Just so I think there's something with YouTube where it doesn't give an ad unless the content is less than a half an hour. Not entirely sure on that. I don't know what logic it has for whether it gives an ad or not, but I hate ads. Hate them. They should be gone. Shoot faster. That sounds useful.
Here I come. Uh-oh. Shoulda used a spoon.
Another thing with my audio microphone, my wife had a whole bunch of these. I don't know that it's a pop filter, but it's like a little foam piece that goes over the microphone tip, and she had them for her headset. So I asked her if I could borrow one, just use it, or if I could have one, basically. She had a whole bag full of them that she wasn't really using too much, but I figured with audio being such a big deal for me, and with me talking quite a bit on these streams, that adding that would help to improve audio quality.
This is so creepy.
So, again.
Quick and clean. I like how you work.
I misread the glyphs. managed to get the health up some, so
Damaged goods! Just
that's
like
nice.
my liver.
Okay, more computer files. Yeah, I'm really liking the audio being down where it is right now. Like I don't even hear anything other than the people talking and a little bit of the
Don't
music.
invite me to any of those dinners. Wait, is beef log a possible passcode?
Release the pickpockets!
And another thing with having the clock there in the bottom part is I'm not getting disoriented in the video game world, forgetting about the real world. I'm like, no, it's 16:03:26 in the real world right now at my local time. What's up? What do you need? You know, I don't know. Just this is kind of it's interesting because the version who gets to just play the game, is it different than the version who is listening later or is setting up the stream or taking down the stream afterwards? Like, it's kind of a package deal.
Time to turn up the heat.
So where are we at? Blood pudding 3, disease 1 at Mr. Freeze 1. Okay.
Roast these bad boys.
We'll call that for the stream. Go run attempt 6, guard Ethan Kent. So what I'll do is I'll switch off. I'll turn off this stream and I'll start a new one here shortly. There's my timer to let me know first stream should be done. And then I'll do some sound checks on Subnautica, but I don't think we're going to have as many issues with that as with this because it's more of an exploration sort of game. Very low key. I'm hoping my mom will tune in and enjoy it. It's kind of like being in a fish tank or being underwater. I really like it. Um, yeah, also, the way I play Subnautica is I am doing my best to avoid eating any of the wildlife or killing it, um, except for the things that are really the parasites, probably. I don't mind killing those things. But so the idea of it is like I was like cutting down the creep vine to have my character eat it, so I could eat a plant-based diet like my physical avatar. I haven't had meat in like I don't know, like 3 years now or something. Um, I'm fine health-wise, so whoever might be like, "Oh, you need to eat meat," I'm like, I actually don't. I'm in good health. I have annual physical here very soon, and I'll see if there's something missing. But the fact that I'm not dead after 3 years or totally thin and emaciated, I make sure to get to the gym at least once a week. Be nice to go more often. Uh, I could probably do more exercises here around the house, but with our next house, whenever we get into it, Lighthouse 02, I do want to have an office for myself, and in that office, I would like to have a elliptical, so that come break time for the day or whatever, or lunch break, I can just hop up on the elliptical and get in like a half an hour. I think that'll really keep me sharp. Um, I think it's very important, especially when we're sitting, like I do. I'm a remote worker, so I'm still in good shape. I know the camera doesn't cover all of me. I did some deadlifts just the other day at the gym. That was a lot of fun. It's been a while on those actually. So normally it's just an aerobics style class. I won't go into too deep because my gym routine is pretty private for me. I don't want to be sharing it with everybody, but I do go and I enjoy it. My gym is a little far away actually, but it was difficult to find one that actually had a sauna as well as everything else, and it's worth it to go. I would prefer that they have their sauna open later. They have kind of short hours for that, but the owner is doing some things to try to get it available, um, like a all hours sauna in each of the changing rooms, in addition to the regular sauna. So, or in lieu of it, I guess. I don't know. He seems like a good guy. We'll see if he can pull it off. I would really appreciate that because it's annoying. It's one of the reasons I don't go to the gym sometimes, even though I might be upset late at night or something, or wake up from a bad dream. I'm like, sauna's not open. Like I can go get my workout in, but I can't sauna afterwards. I wish I had a steam room. Like that would be freaking fantastic. The workout routine I had when I was in Utah before, just after my marriage, I was able to do a workout and steam and sauna, and I can say that that's superior to every other type of workout I've ever done. So yeah, there's something about all those things combined together that really makes a difference. So if you do have the ability to tap into that wherever you are, I would definitely recommend it. So thank you very much for tuning in today, and I hope to see some of you, or hope you join me for some Subnautica here as well. As usual, the video will go up on my YouTube later, and yeah, thank you for watching. Have a good day.